A very warm welcome to my new class today once again. Okay, so I would really love to welcome all of you over here. So basically I was just thinking that which could be the topic that I should start with. So what I have basically seen is people, they really struggle a lot with the geometry, right? Mainly with the basics of geometry, right? So सभी लोग के लिए बस यही बोलूँगा कि जिन खोजिया तिन पाइयाँ गहरे पानी बैठ. So just try to go into the deeper, okay, into the topic, and then you will get to know new things, more better things, right? So basically today I'll be talking about some basic concepts of lines and angles. Okay, I'll be starting with the lines and angles, and guys, this is a series in which we'll be covering lines and angles. Then I will take, in the next class I'll be taking all the angles on a parallel lines. Then we'll start with the triangles, then eventually with the quadrilaterals, and much more to go, right? So चलो अभी हम लोग बेसिक कंसेप्ट्स की बात करते हैं, राइट? क्योंकि क्वेश्चंस तो हर कोई कर लेता है यार. Just try to understand the basics, okay? So now let's just start. But before that, first of all, if you really want to see some good content, right? So for example, if you have got many doubts with many things, so guys, so you can just go ahead and please join the Telegram group of Young Wonders, okay? Over here, the link is given in the description box. So here you will be getting all the teachers available for your own doubts. We'll be solving all of your doubts over here in this group for free. So भाई जो free मिलता है उसको तो सबसे पहले लेना चाहिए ना, right? Okay, and then please, if you really like the videos and this Telegram application, okay, then please like, share and subscribe our new channel, that is Young Wonders. Okay, so guys, thank you once again for making Vedantu win the User's Choice App Award 2019 in the category of Everyday Essentials. So thank you very much. ऐसे ही प्यार देते रहो और बढ़ाते रहो, right? Keep downloading the application, keep learning, keep growing, okay? So guys, basically we were just talking about the lines and angles, okay? So if I just talk about the lines and angles, so first of all I will be discussing the point. यार एकदम शुरुआत से स्टार्ट करते हैं ना. पहले क्या आया? आप बोलोगे नहीं लाइन्स एंड एंगल्स में सबसे पहले लाइन आया. नहीं, सबसे पहले पॉइंट आया. क्या है पॉइंट? ये पॉइंट है, राइट? एनीथिंग दैट गिव्स यू अ लोकेशन or a position of something is a point, right? Remember guys, there is something that I have drawn here. This is not a point. Basically this is a dot, okay? Why? Because it has some direct dimensions. A point is something that tells you the location of something, okay, but it has no dimensions, right? So whenever I represent any point on any surface, it is called a dot. ये dot है basically, ठीक है? लेकिन है क्या? I have represented a point. So this is a way through which we represent a point. Okay, अभी क्या हुआ बच्चे? Now I have started to make many points like this. I can make infinitely many points on this plane, right? So what happens if I just join all of these points? Yes, if I just join all of these points, so I will get what? I will get a line. It can be extended in both the directions. You can see that, right? ठीक. तो अभी कितना भी मैं इसके आगे points ले सकता हूँ. I can take points in this direction as well. So what is a line? A line is a collection of points, okay? And now listen, whenever I talk about a line, whenever I say a word line, a line generally it means a straight line only in mathematics, okay? And always remember, similarly a curve also doesn't always mean any curvy thing, okay? So a straight line can also be a curve. तो बहुत सारी चीजें हैं. I just always used to tell my students that we must look at the literal meaning so as to understand the basics, but do not stick to the literal meaning while doing mathematics, right? Okay, तो हमने क्या डिस्कस कर लिया? We have discussed a point. Now we have discussed a line. ठीक, तो हमारे पास line है. We have got a line like this, right? What would happen if I am in a mood to cut this line like this? काट दिया. Okay? So now, what will I get? I just cut this line. I have cut this line. Okay? तो इस लाइन का मैंने इतना छोटा सा नन्ना सा हिस्सा मैंने बाहर ले लिया. This is what? This is a part of line. Can I say that this is some segment? Segment, literal meaning, right? So this part, this is what? This is a line segment. Alright? This is a line segment. Alright. Abhi kya hua? I have got a line segment here. Even if I won't have got a line segment, if I just cut this line from here. So I have got this point and this point. I have got two endpoints, right? So can I say that these are two endpoints and these two parts of line, they still can be extended in both the directions, right? So ये क्या बन जाता है? Ray. Okay, ये क्या है? Ray है. This is a ray. This is a ray. Okay. So whenever we talk about sun, we say sun rays. Why sun rays? Because sun is fixed at this point, right? Its rays, they always move into many directions, right? When I say that ray of light, what does it mean? Let's suppose that there is a bulb, light bulb. ठीक, ये rays जा रहे हैं इसमें से. They are the rays from one point. Okay. So now we have discussed a line. We have discussed a ray. Right? We have discussed a line segment. Okay. Now, there is something really very interesting from it. Okay. Now, let's just try to discuss that and try to understand that. We have discussed ray, we have discussed line segment. So, abhi kya hai? Let us suppose I had two rays. This one and let's suppose this one. I have got two rays. Now, if I just take this point, I just slowly move it here, okay, and I just keep this point over the above point. Okay, now let's just see how would it look like. It would definitely look like something like maybe like this, right? These are two rays. So what we have got? We have got an angle. This is an angle. This is an angle. Okay, so what is an angle? We can say that an angle is basically a figure formed when two rays, they are joined to each other in such a way that they share the common endpoint. ये रहा endpoint, ये रहा endpoint. दोनों endpoint को मैंने मिला दिया, right? I have mixed both of these endpoints. I have got this common endpoint over here, right? Right? I have joined the endpoint and these two rays, they are emerging from the same endpoint. So they are forming what? They are forming an angle. And conventionally, we always move in this direction, like anti-clockwise. So what are these rays called now? Now these rays are called the arms. Take here are arms. Okay. So they are called the arms, right? Of an angle. So this is something about the angles, right? So अभी हम लोगों ने थोड़ा सा हल्का सा idea लिया है. We have just learnt about the angles, right? Now there are different types of angles on a line, right? So let's suppose that I have got a straight line. I have got a straight line. Or maybe, let's just take this angle first. Okay, so guys, just try to understand how many such rays can I pass through the same point or the end point? Infinitely many. Do you know why? Because length, or let's suppose that a line, it doesn't have any width. It is one dimensional. Similarly, a ray also doesn't have any dimension. So I can just make as many rays as I can, right? There is no particular count onto it. तो क्या हुआ? अभी if I am just talking about this angle 1 and this angle 2, I have joined one more ray, right? So I have got two angles. दोनों पड़ोसी पड़ोसी हैं, right? So they are called what? They are called the adjacent angles. Try to understand the definition, okay? Right? क्योंकि एक दूसरे के adjacent है, ठीक है? They are lying exactly adjacent to each other, right? So they are called the adjacent angles. So what can I say about the adjacent angles, guys? What are the adjacent angles now? इसका मतलब ये हुआ, by looking at this figure, I can easily say that what are the adjacent angles? They are a pair of angles which have a common arm. See, this is what? This is a common arm. Okay? Right? Two angles sharing a common arm, and the other arm lies on the opposite sides or the other sides of that common arm. Can I say that this arm and this arm, these two arms, they are lying on the other side? One is lying towards this side, one is lying towards this side, right? So they are lying towards the other sides of this arm, right? तो ऐसे angles जो कि हमारे join होते हैं ऐसे, right? For example, this is making some angle. If I just start, let's suppose this is some angle, right? अब इसके साथ मैंने एक और बीच में angle जोड़ दिया. These are what? These are adjacent angles. This angle and this angle, right? तो हमारे पास क्या है? We have got these adjacent angles over here. अभी adjacent angles, what would happen if I am in some mood of shifting this angle like this? Over here, towards this direction. मैंने इसको पकड़ा, I have caught it and I have just tried to pull it this way. In such a way, in this direction, in such a way that this angle, finally, it comes over here, okay, and we get a straight line. Let's suppose I have pulled this angle towards this direction, okay, and I have got a straight line now. तो अभी ये वाला एंगल तो यहाँ पे रहा नहीं, right? Let me just make it a little more neat and clean. यार बहुत गंद करता हूँ मैं. I'm sorry guys. Okay? So बच्चे क्या हुआ? मैंने दूसरा आर्म जो था, the second arm, okay, I have pulled the second arm towards this side such that now I have got a straight line. Let's suppose that, although it doesn't really look like, but let's suppose that this is a straight line. Okay? अभी इसमें मेरा एक बीच में से एक और तीसरे एंगल का जो आर्म आ रहा था, that arm, ठीक, can I say that these are adjacent angles? Yes, of course, because they share a same arm, common arm, and the other two arms, they are on the opposite side of the common arm, right? Now, there is one more thing that I can say. I can say that they are pair of angles on a straight line. So we call this one as a linear pair. Linear pair. Okay? So this can also be called a linear pair. क्यों? Linear means a line. So pair of adjacent angles on a straight line is called a linear pair. Okay, so I hope I have made myself clear. अच्छा, परेशान नहीं होते. I will just revise the things. We have discussed a point. A point is nothing but the location or a position of something. Line, collection of points is a line, right? Ray, if I just make a cut on a line, so anything that has one fixed point, one end point, and it moves in one direction, that is a ray. Line segment. Segment means tukda, means chota sa hissa, a part, a small part. So a small part of any line is what? A segment. that is a line segment. क्योंकि लाइन का टुकड़ा है, so it is a segment of a line or a line segment. A line segment always has a fixed measurement. A line doesn't. A line can never have a fixed measurement because it is always extended in both the directions. If I talk about any fixed measurement, then definitely I'm talking about a line segment only. Alright. So now, the way of representing a point is like this. I represent a point like this. Oops. Right? So basically what happens is, ये क्या है? ये dot है. Right? What I have represented with the help of dot is a point. Okay? Now, guys, then we came to what? We came to the angles. When two rays are joined by same endpoint, they are called an angle. They form a figure that is called an angle. अब उस angle के अंदर मैंने एक और angle जोड़ दिया. Right? Right? If I have just made one more angle in between them, so over here, in such a way that there is a common arm of two angles, and the other two arms, they lie on the other sides of that common arm. Okay, so those angles, like angle 1 and angle 2, they are called adjacent angles, right? But if I just extend the opposite arm in such a way that common arm is in the middle and the other two arms, they are making a straight line, right? So that pair of adjacent angles is called a linear pair. Why? Because it is a pair of adjacent angles on a straight line. Clear, guys? So that is a pair of angles on a straight line. अभी हमारे पास इतना सब कुछ clear हो गया. Now what would happen? Like, yeah, this is bad, na? I have made a straight line. I have made a ray on it. What would happen if I just extend this ray in this direction and make a straight line? Oh my god. So over here I can say that two lines are intersecting each other, right? Two lines, they are intersecting each other. So what pair of angle do I form? इसमें मुझे मिलता है this and this. Of course I can say that these two angles are linear pair. Straight line, linear pairs. These two angles are linear pair, this one and this one, right? So 1, 2, 3 and 4. See, this is the beauty, guys. So 1 and 4 are linear pairs, 2 and 3 are linear pairs. Why? Because this is a straight line. Again, since this is a straight line, so 1 and 2 are linear pair and 4 and 3 are linear pair. अबे linear pair का क्या हुआ भाई? ये है क्या? What is this linear pair? So we can say that adjacent angles on a straight line. This is what you said to me, sir, right? So adjacent angles on a straight line. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? I know that angle on a straight line is what? It is 180 degrees, right? So it means that the sum of a linear pair must be 180 degrees. ठीक है? चलो अब linear pair के लिए मैं बताता हूं. Sum of angles is angles is 180 degrees. पहली चीज. And second, and the very most important thing is, see guys, be it adjacent angles, be it a linear pair, be it supplementary angles, be it complementary angles, we always talk about pair of angles. Pair of angles का मतलब केवल दो angles की बात कर रहे हैं, right? If I just make one more angle into it, over here I can see 1, 2 and 3 angles. This is not a linear pair, right? ये linear pair नहीं होगा फिर, okay? So a linear pair always has and it must have exactly two angles. Clear? तो हम लोगों ने linear pair के बारे में डिस्कस कर लिया, लेकिन अभी क्या हुआ? As soon as guys, as soon as two lines they intersect each other at any specific point, or two straight lines. Whenever I say line, I always mean a straight line. Okay, so whenever any two lines they intersect at any point, let's say O, right? So they form a pair of angles. अरे यार वो तो पहले भी बना रहे थे, right? But something special. This one and this one. These two angles, they are lying exactly opposite to each other. Exactly opposite to each other, like this one. By agar, if I just try to make an eye of this one, right? So it will look in this direction. If I just try to make an eye of this one, so this angle will look into this direction like this, right? They are called the vertically opposite angles. Vertically opposite hai, right? So we can say that 2 and 4, 1 and 3, they are what? They are vertically opposite angles. राइट अभी चलो थोड़ा सा पढ़ते वर्टिकली ऑपोजिट एंगल्स होते क्या हैं. राइट दिस इज एंगल 4. वर्टिकली ऑपोजिट एंगल्स बच्चे दे ऑलवेज हैव द सेम मेजरमेंट, मतलब बराबर होते हैं. हाउ? लेट्स जस्ट ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड हाउ. ओके, सो फॉर एग्जांपल आई टोल्ड यू दैट 1 and angle 2 they are a linear pair. So angle 1 plus angle 2 equals to 180 degree. Why? Linear pair, right? यार ये मेरा equals to का साइन हमेशा z की तरह लगता है. Angle 2 equals to फिर वही okay, so equals to 180 degrees. Okay, now again I can say that angle 1 and angle 4 are also a linear pair, right? So angle 1 plus angle 4 equals to 180 degrees. Again a linear pair. भाई पहले हमने ये straight line ली, अब हमने ये straight line ले ली, right? So now what happens is it implies that, what does it imply? It implies that angle 1 plus angle 2 equals to angle 1 plus angle 4. Now subtract angle 1 from both the sides. ठीक, ये उड़ गया, ये उड़ गया. It implies that, what does it imply? Angle 2 equals to angle 4. Okay, तो क्या है? ये एंगल इसके बराबर है. Similarly, this angle will be equal to this one. So we can say that vertically opposite pair of angles is always equal. Okay, बशर्ते मेरे प्यारे बच्चों, the lines intersecting must be the straight line. That is why I say whenever we talk about the lines in mathematics, I am always very much sure about a straight line. Okay. So guys, we have really discussed so many things. So we have discussed the vertically opposite angles, we have discussed the adjacent angles, we have discussed linear pair, right? We have discussed the properties of linear pair, we have discussed properties of adjacent angles, right? ठीक, we have discussed the properties of corresponding angles and the no, not the corresponding angles, that we will be discussing next. Okay, so we have discussed what? Yeah, complementary, supplementary, adjacent angles and the linear pair. We have discussed that all of these angles, they are always formed on a pair of angles. Like we always talk about two angles whenever we are just talking about all of these. Okay, we have discussed a point, line, ray, line segment. ये basics मेरे हिसाब से आपके clear हो गए होंगे, right? So thank you very much. अगर आप लोग को अच्छा लगा, in the next class we will be discussing about the angles made when a transversal cuts the parallel lines. ठीक, जैसे कि corresponding angles, alternate angles वगैरह 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 सारा बेसिक से पढ़ेंगे, सारा अच्छे से पढ़ेंगे, राइट? सो ऐसा ही रहेगा. ओके, सो गाइज आई थिंक thank you, matlab I would really like to thank you all for all of your love, okay, and support over here. So keep watching the videos and keep learning, keep posting the doubts and the questions whatever you have. Okay guys, so this is basically a geometrical series. In this I'll be covering all the basics. All right guys, yeah, so please guys, do not forget to subscribe to Vedanta Young Wonders and like the video if you like it. Okay, so take care guys, bye bye.